The New York Mets take on the Philadelphia Phillies, 1:05 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Phillies are minus 165, totals 8 flat. New York's plus $1.40 for some money line cash. And if you like them on the run line, they're minus 140, catching the 1.5. Taijuan Walker's on the bump here for New York. Zach Wheeler for the Fightins. And following a 4-1 day on my Patreon website yesterday, we also improved to 7-2 in our last 9 extra daily pick tier package plays on that Patreon page as well. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We're also 9-3 in our last dozen Major League Baseball tier package picks on that Patreon site as well. And the good news is we have another MLB tier package pick going off here today in the early afternoon if you're on the East Coast. We currently have over 775 members who are signed up and active on that Patreon website. And if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, link for that page is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. And despite just an absolutely incredible run here for Philadelphia, they're still in the bottom half of the league in home scoring on average per game. This Phillies lineup is also in the bottom half of the league in home strikeouts at the plate. Zach Wheeler is taking the mound here for the Fightins, and despite some fairly dominant numbers this year, the righties still suffered 6 losses. They're taking on a Mets team who, despite their current struggles, they really do a nice job limiting their opponent's scoring. The Mets are in the top 3 in fewest hits per game, and they allow just 3.9 runs per contest. Taijuan Walker's also got 7 wins thus far in the year, along with 101 strikeouts. The righty's also got himself a 3.86 ERA and a 1.23 WHIP. Now, total-wise, New York 60% to the over in their last 10 outings. Meanwhile, Philadelphia went 6-4 to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the New York Mets plus 1.5 in the over 8 runs. Next game, Rays versus the O's, 1:05 Eastern start time. The Tampa Bay Rays are minus 175, totals 10.5. Michael Wacha for Tampa Bay. Jorge Lopez for Baltimore. Now, Lopez is just 3-12 on the year, 5.91 ERA, and a 1.64 WHIP. The last place Orioles are 33 games below 500, and they give up more runs at home than any other team. They're taking on a first-place Tampa club who won 7 out of their last 9, and they also find themselves in the top 3 in road scoring. Brandon Lowe's hit 24 homers and knocked in 60. Meanwhile, Austin Meadows has 76 RBI, which is 7th in the majors. This Tampa Bay ball club is 32-17 straight up in divisional play. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, they're allowing only 3.9 runs a game. Now, total-wise, Tampa went 60% to the over in their last 10 ball games. Baltimore saw their last 3 straight at Camden Yards get over the line. I'm going to lean toward the Tampa Bay Rays minus 175 and the over 10.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for part 1. It is going to be Mariners versus the Yankees, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The New York Yankees are minus 140, totals 9. Luis Gil for the Yankees, Yusei Kikuchi for Seattle. Now, the Cooch Man's got 7 wins thus far in the year, 3.89 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. He's also struck out 129. The Mariners, have cashed in on the run line in 6 out of their last 9 road games, and they're covering the number in 65% of their road games as well for the entire season. They're taking on a Yankees club who, despite their recent success, they've really struggled cashing in on the run line at home. The Yankees got the job done in only 23 out of 56 home games, and their offense is still in the bottom 10 in scoring. This New York lineup is also in the bottom 10 in hits on average per game. Luis Gil has just 6 innings of work under his belt on the mound. When it comes to the total in this one, 7 out of New York's last 10 ball games stayed under the line. 4-2 to the under in their last 6 at Yankee Stadium. Meanwhile, 6 out of Seattle's last 9 road games stayed under the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Seattle Mariners plus 1.5. And the under 9 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my Patreon website. I like the New York Mets plus 1.5 over 8 runs. Tampa Bay Rays minus 175 over 10.5. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 7-2 in our last 9 extra daily picks on my Patreon website. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We're also 9-3 in our last dozen MLB tier package picks on that Patreon page as well. I'm going to lean toward the Seattle Mariners plus 1.5. And the under 9 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And that goes to Little Bad, who said, "Dude, you're the GOAT. You got every pick right but one. Great effing job." Little Bad, I certainly appreciate you taking the time out to drop me a comment. And I'll tell you what, hey, we got more work to do today. We got to get back on the saddle and continue to win ball games here. But enjoy the win. Maybe take a day off, take a day or two off and enjoy the win. But hey, if you get back on the saddle, man, we got a lot of work to do. And we certainly have some more games to win. But overall, appreciate you taking the time out and dropping me a line in the comment section. Really appreciate it. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my Patreon website, just keep in mind that Patreon is going to bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today, you're going to get access to that content all the way through the end of August. And I always tell folks, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. Really, if you think about it, I know a lot of folks when they originally sign up, especially towards the end of the month, they feel like it's almost like double dipping a little bit. But the way I see it is, I see it as, well, it's an initial sign-up fee, and then really you're getting the month of access complimentary. But it's not the way it works. But once again, Patreon bills you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. As usual, I really appreciate the comments in the comment section as well. I really enjoy reading them, and I certainly enjoy giving the shout out of the day. But anyway, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.